Hello everyone, myself Shinde V.G. working as Assistant Professor at Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, KTHM College, Nashik. Today we are going to discuss T.Y.B.Sc Semester 3rd, paper number 5, that is the course of Energy Conversion Devices and Applications. In today's lecture, we have to cover the losses and equivalent circuit of solar cells. Now, the unit first is started by in previous lecture, the photovoltaic solar cells. In today's lecture, I have to cover the losses of photovoltaic solar cells and the equivalent circuit of photovoltaic solar cell or PN junction solar cell. Now, the first one discuss with losses of solar cell. They have two types of losses. First one, optical losses and electrical losses. Now, the first one discuss with optical losses. Reflection, shadowing, non-absorbed radiation. These are the losses of solar radiation by optical. Reflection, shadowing, and non-absorbed radiation. That's one, non-absorbed radiation. The electrical losses, they have two types. One of the ohmic and recombination. In ohmic, the SC solar cell material, base emitter contact material, metal junction. That's why the ohmic loss of solar cell. And the recombination loss of solar cell is emitter region material, surface base region material, and surface base charge region material. This is the recombination loss of electrical loss of solar cell. Now, in detail study with the losses of solar. UV incident solar photon with the energy above the band gap, energy is absorbed. UV incident solar, this is the energy above the band gap, energy is absorbed. This, the band gap energy is absorbed, is that the UV incident photon energy is above, or means increase, or value is increased. The photon is unrelated and its energy promotes a valence band electron into the conduction band of the absorbing material, generating an electron hole in the valence band. Means this energy promotes a valence band electron into the conduction band of the absorbing material, that is generating an electron hole in the valence band. The first loss process occurs as photons with energy below the band gap are transmitted and hence their energy is not used. This is the process of or first process loss of solar energy. Thermalized electrons have a kinetic energy described by the temperature of the lattice. Since the heat energy in the material is not extracted as electrical current, thermalization is a significant loss process. That's one. Second loss of solar energy is thermalization or process of thermalization. Now, discuss with another loss of solar energy is the energy loss associated with a device at a voltage drop is described in this process as a thermodynamic loss. Means the third loss of solar cell is thermodynamic loss. This loss is the energy loss associated with a device at a voltage drop is described in this process. That is, this process is known as thermodynamic loss process. Now, another one loss of solar cell is the loss process associated with operating a cell at the maximum power point is referred to as the fill factor loss and is described by shape of a device's current voltage characteristic. The factor of incident solar radiation which has not been displayed through the unavailable loss process equates to the fundamental limiting efficiency of the devices. In here, the fraction of incident solar radiation which has not been dispersed through unavailable loss process equates to the fundamental limiting efficiency of the devices. The calculated by the electron kinetic loss per electron per degree of freedom is 3/2 kT means critical temperature. That is, this degree of freedom is calculated that the electron kinetic loss by this formula are calculated 3/2 kT. This is the loss of solar cell or losses of solar cell. Now, a study with another one topic is the equivalent circuit of solar cell or equivalent circuit of photovoltaic solar cell or equivalent circuit of PN junction solar cell. That one, in this point, the ohmic losses in the cell occur due to the series and shunt resistance denoted by Rs and Rsh respectively. The series resistance is the resistance offered by the solar cell in the path of current flow. Therefore, Rs is shown in the current path. In here, the ohmic losses in the cell occurs due to two resistance. That one, the series resistance and shunt resistance. This is denoted as Rs and Rsh respectively. The series resistance is the resistance offered by the solar cell in the path of current flow. Path of the current flow. This offered by the path of the current flow. Therefore, Rs is shown in current path. Means the series resistance is shown by the current path. And the shunt resistance is referred as the leakage path of the current. In a solar cell here, therefore, it is represented in parallel with the current sources. Means the shunt resistance is present as leakage path of the current and the parallel with current source. This shunt resistance is parallel with current source. The overall equivalent circuit of a solar cell is shown in figure in next slide. That's the IV equation of an ideal solar cell is given by I is equal to IN minus I0 in bracket exponential in bracket QV upon KT bracket complete minus 1 bracket complete. That is the equation number first. This IV equation is discussed with in previous lecture, the IV equation and IV characteristics of photovoltaic solar cell point. This is the ideal equation of solar cell. That is the IV equation of the ideal solar cell. This is the figure shows that the equivalent circuit of photovoltaic solar cell or PN junction solar cell. In here, Rs means series resistance is equivalent to the path of the current. And shunt resistance is leakage of the current path and the parallel with parallel with current source. Parallel with current source. And here the recombination in base and emitter. Recombination in base and emitter, and this recombination in space charge region. This is the recombination in space charge region. Okay, and that is one the figure of equivalent circuit for the solar cell. The IV equation of equivalent circuit of a solar cell can be written in the following form. I is equal to IN minus I01 exponential Q in bracket V plus I RS means series resistance upon KT minus I02 exponential Q in bracket V plus IRS. RS means series resistance upon 2 KT minus in bracket V plus I RSH upon RSH means shunt resistance. That is the equation number 2. The model given by is also known as two-diode model. Okay. The term I01 and I02 represent the saturation current densities. These two terms represent the saturation current densities. I01 represents the recombination in the base and emitter of the solar cell, and the I02 represents the recombination in space charge region of the solar cell. Okay, the third term on the right hand side is omega. I02 is equal to 0 in a simple solar cell model. Thus, the IV equation of simple solar cell model will be given by the following expansion or expression. Okay, I is equal to IN minus I01 exponential in bracket Q in bracket V plus IRS means series resistance bracket complete upon NKT minus in bracket V plus IR upon RSH bracket complete, that is RSH means shunt resistance here. Yeah, okay, shunt resistance RSH. That is the equation number 3. The N in equation 3 is diode identify factor. Okay, this equation 3 here the N is diode identification factor. Okay, its value lies between 1 and 2. These equations or this N is value lies between 1 or 2, where 1 is for the ideal diode. Okay, this N is value 1 for the ideal diode. In this point, we have to discuss the losses of solar cells and the equivalent circuit of the solar cell or equivalent circuit of photovoltaic solar cell or equivalent circuit of PN junction solar cell. Thank you.